Hi guys and welcome back to another video. Me is Cam from Cam's Cob. Welcome back to another daily Chelsea transfer news video where today I'll be talking about the Mason Mount deal, Moises Caicedo, our new signing Nicolas Jackson, along with all things Chelsea. So if you're new, I'm Cam from Cam's Cob and I do daily Chelsea transfer news videos. If you liked it, like, subscribe, all that jazz, but without further ado, let's get in the first story. Now, picking it off from where I left off yesterday, I was speaking about Mason Mount and his, pretty much nailed on exit from Chelsea, whether that be Man United or not. But it was said that the £55 million offer from Man United would be their last, and that if they didn't accept Chelsea, then they'd walk away. However, there's been, a bit movement last night. All good news story start, and that's Fabrizio Romano saying Chelsea want 58 million plus 7 million in add-ons for Mason Mount. There is still no reaction from Manchester United. They will think about it in the next hours. Chelsea have proposed a face-to-face meeting. Mason Mount is prepared to fly for his move, possibly joining them for a free next year, but he doesn't want it to collapse now. And as much as I like Mason Mount, again, I would not want this deal to collapse. I'd rather take the 55 million than zero in a year, because let's be real, if his sights were set on Manchester United, he would not really want to be playing for Chelsea for an extra year. But going on to Ben, who has said, I understand Manchester United will not walk away from the Mason Mount deal after their third bid was rejected. So Man United were trying to play poker with Big Daddy American boy Todd Bowley, and he didn't bluff. Their bluff was that they'd walk away. However, they're not going to walk away from the deal. So the 58 million plus 7 million in add-ons, which adds up, if my maths is correct, to £65 million, which is pretty much the same as Kai Havertz. Be more happily selling him for that money than 55, 10 million more. But what's that to Man United? Very good deal. Of course, Mason Mount wants that team. He wants to play United. So with midfielders leaving and Kante and Mount, we're going to need to get a replacement, and what better replacement than Moises Caicedo from Brighton. Going back to Fabrizio Romano, who has said no changes on Caicedo deal. Chelsea expected to bid after outgoings and still feel in control of the situation. There's no official negotiations ongoing yet. Personal terms also agreed. Yep, personal terms have been agreed for months now. I think they were agreed in January. Remember when Moises Caicedo sent that letter to the Brighton fans saying pretty much thank you, but he was going to leave. Of course, he didn't leave, and Brighton went on to do amazing for the rest of the season, and Chelsea did the opposite. We ended up signing Enzo Fernandez, so I'd say we did pretty well instead. But again, a midfielder slot has opened up, so we need to sign him. But what makes this more interesting is I'm going to go to Jacob Steinberg and Fabrizio Romano via The Guardian Sport, who has said Man United also want to know if a deal can be done for Mason Mount, and if not, they will move to other targets, including Brighton's Moises Caicedo. So it is even more in our interests for us to offload Mason Mount, because if that weren't to happen, we wouldn't have the money to, pay for Caicedo, and Man United would enter the race. This whole midfield saga is getting a lot more complex if you look to the other side of Manchester with Manchester City and the other side of London with Arsenal regarding Declan Rice. Now, I've been doing videos on this channel for about 3 years, and for the first year and a half it was pretty Declan Rice heavy, but I've kind of accepted he's either going to join Arsenal or City. That deal looks like it's going to be in the 90, £100 million mark, so very, very expensive. But yeah, it gets interesting, because if City were to sign Declan Rice, then what's Arsenal's second choice? Moises Caicedo. 3 teams for Moises Caicedo, looking for Moises Caicedo, what team would he want to join? A team that has come second, a team that's come third, or a team that's come 12th? Well, I know we have the money and the projects maybe, but yeah, that's why it needs to be done. But finally, leaving it on Moises Caicedo, I'm going to go to Jacob Ben again, who was quoted by saying Chelsea will make a big push for Moises Caicedo. 70 plus 10 million appears possible, not the £100 million quoted. Now, don't get me wrong, 70 to 80 million pounds is a lot for this player, but they've kind of shown their hand already with the McAllister deal, because McAllister, World Cup winner, sold him in the £30 million mark to Liverpool, but then wants to fleece Chelsea. It's not going to work like that. But yeah, hopefully this deal can be done probably next week, because as I said, Chelsea are very busy on outgoings with Koulibaly pretty much being confirmed today. That's enough of Caicedo. I'm going to be going to a story on an ingoing. Back to Fabrizio Romano once again. Main part of medical tests for Nicolas Jackson will take place today. Chelsea are finally checking contracts with Villarreal for a €37 million deal. Deal complete on Friday and now set to be signed, as Jackson will be unveiled as a new signing soon on a very long-term contract. Yes, now it hasn't even been a day since this has been announced, and already flooding my TikTok is Nicolas Jackson's miss compilations. So, like all Chelsea strikers, welcome to Chelsea. The compilation, I am sure, will get a lot bigger at Chelsea. But yeah, lots of debate on Twitter and with other footballing sources whether he'll start or come into the team. I know people are saying, only started about 16 games last season. Really would be harsh to throw him in the deep end in the Premier League. Could loan him off. Where better to grow than in the Premier League? I feel like the first season under Poch is a lot less, we don't have a lot of expectations. We've just come 12th. Anything in the top 6, top 4 would be great. But be carefree. I mean, I know players like Armando Broja and Fofana are young strikers as well that had competition. But yeah, Nicolas Jackson, very exciting young player to join the strike force after Kai Havertz leaving, and of course Aubameyang looks to leave. But finally, I'm going to end on one last story, and that is, of course, club legend Dave Cesar Azpilicueta. I went to the last game of the season, Chelsea Newcastle, where we had a lovely tifo for him, basically saying thank you. But again, Fabrizio Romano has said, Cesar Azpilicueta just waiting for Chelsea to give the green light to a mutual termination of his contract. It's the final step to let him leave the club immediately, up to the club. Inter have agreed personal terms with Azpilicueta on a 2-year deal, waiting to sign soon. Haven't got a bad word to say about this player. Came, of course, in 2012, just after we won the Champions League. Youngest serving player still at the club. Of course, the last 2 years I've been a bit harsh on him because he has aged not that great, but Inter Milan, what a side to play for, really. Wish him all the best, and hopefully, he can win things at Inter. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for more Chelsea transfer news videos where hopefully Mason Mount is out the bloody door. See you then.